Hello everyone and welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. Today's video, we have got two cases to look at. First up, coming from one of my dairies, we've got an unidentified mark in the sole of this foot, and then we move to one of my beef farms where I found this. But first up, let's get started on that dairy cow. Now you may notice as I start trimming this cow that she's got lots of dark marks in both of those claws on her back foot. Now you might wonder, how do I know that there's not problems hiding underneath all of those? Or how do I know which ones are going to be the problem ones? This comes back to experience once again, but these tend to be in predictable spots. Now this case, we've got some marks on that inside claw, that medial claw. I'm going to check a couple of those right now to make sure there's not a problem in this white line. But those other marks are just imperfections in that sole. Nothing to really worry about. Now when we look over at that lateral claw, this is where the problem lies. Now this is close to the typical sole ulcer site. However, it's really not that, I don't believe. I believe this is some type of maybe a small puncture that did this. It's not exactly in the right spots to be ulcer related, and just the way that the horn is formed underneath it, that dark area, leads me to believe that this may have been some sort of small puncture. Here you can see how that's located basically in the center of that claw, not in that typical sole ulcer site. There's also a lot of dark horn below it. That is often associated with punctures. Where I'm working now is where we would typically find a sole ulcer if that were the case. And here you can see it. Now that we've got that loose horn removed from around that, should be able to heal nicely now. All it really needs is a good thorough spray down with some chlorhexidine and then that salicylic acid wrap, just to make sure we don't have any bacteria that cause digital dermatitis that infiltrate that open spot. And then this girl's going to be ready to go and we can move on to our beef cow. Now this next cow, well, she took me by surprise to say the least. Now on this particular day, I had 1 hour to try to trim 5 beef cows before this farmer had to get to work. So I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna even bring my cameras. That way I don't have to worry about taking the time to film a video. I'm just gonna go and trim these cows. And of course, this is what I find. I had to shoot all this footage with my cell phone, but you can see we got something managed to work its way up underneath that dew claw. Now you'll notice I've trimmed this foot, and that's because when I put that clamp on, I didn't even notice that this was in there. What I think this is actually a clip that holds the fence, the wire to the fence post. I believe part of that had rusted off, and I think that's what that is. But the reason I didn't notice that when I clamped it is because this is the view that I get when I put that leg clamp on. You can see there's really no view to the underside of those dew claws, but typically there's never anything there. Now, this particular cow didn't show any signs of lameness whatsoever on this foot. In fact, the only reason she was even sorted out is because she had a long back toe that we needed to work on. Needless to say, both myself and the farmer were surprised when we found this. Much damage though. I mean, it's just this dew claw is swollen, but so I did all that I could do. I cleaned it up with some chlorhexidine and I put some antibiotic powder on that, put a nice wrap on that to hold it in place. And you'll notice when she walks out of this chute, no kidding, she really does not favor that foot whatsoever. Beef cows are amazing animals. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one.